In the 50s and 60s, downtown Madison is the hub of the city's activity, filled with beauty pageants, shopping, and boat shows. But in the early 70s, there's a major shift. The Vietnam War is finally over, but previous anti-war riots on the UW campus leave the heart of the city reeling.
Well, I'm a Madisonian. I grew up here. My mother, we lived in Tacoma. She wouldn't go downtown anymore. In the early days, she did all of her shopping down there, but after the riots, she was afraid to go down there. And that was just an example of many, many people.
Bob Brennan remembers the anti-war protests on the UW campus, serving his first year of 30 as Madison Chamber of Commerce president in 1973. Downtown were in major disrepair, and as was the case in many cities across the country, suburban sprawl had really taken hold, and many Madisonians had moved out of the central city and started living and shopping in suburbia instead.
Our curbs, our gutters, our sidewalks were falling apart. The businesses were boarded up. Businesses were leaving.
So in 1972, a group of retailers formed a committee under the Madison Chamber of Commerce. Today, it's known as DMI, Downtown Madison Incorporated. But back then, it was known as the Central Business Committee, dedicated to bringing business and beauty back downtown.
That was the beginning of something that kept evolving just like our downtown continues to evolve.
A downtown farmers market began an evolution. The dream of then Mayor Bill Dyke to bring visitors back was brought to the committee by Brennan, working for Dyke at the time. The committee partners up with government, and today 500,000 people attend the market every year. Another piece of history, Sue Springman is named the group's second director by Brennan in 1977. She's volunteered with the membership organization ever since.
During my era, you hung out downtown on Saturdays. That was the thing you do. You'd get on the bus at noon and you'd hang out all day long. And that's what Madison was Madison's downtown. And when it started to deteriorate, I felt like I needed to be a part of it to help it.
Helping meant continuing work with the city to complete a major reconstruction of the Capitol Square and State Street. Benches and lighting were added, sidewalks widened, and there was lobbying business owners on the project itself, and then Mayor Soglin on parking. Vendors added life to the street, and State Street becomes a shiny new mall. But in 1978, fire burns the Chamber building to the ground, including the Downtown Committee's offices, taking all of their records with it. Just when its rocky finances had stabilized, and right before the big kickoff to all the new programs designed to complement downtown's facelift.
We moved across the street into the Salvation Army building, and Susan and I'd look at each other sometimes and almost want to cry, but it was so bad that we were laughing about it.
They even worked out of children's school desks because that's what the Salvation Army had. But by then the committee was its own organization, separate from the chamber, and renamed the Central Madison Council. Events like Cows on the Concourse, with its 5-cent ice cream cones, created to bring the public back downtown, have stood the test of time. Many of the group's main issues have remained the same too, like developing a balanced economy, making sure there's enough parking, always a Madison favorite, finding enough housing in a variety of price ranges, and making sure that the heart of Greater Madison is the central focal point for civic and cultural activities. The activities and the group continued to evolve, with the official shift to the name Downtown Madison Inc. in the early 80s. Shortly after, DMI creates the wacky event Paddle in Portage to highlight recreational opportunities on the Isthmus. And the Frosty Ball, designed to draw residents downtown for a glamorous night of dining and dancing in the dead of winter, is also celebrating 20 years. The woman in charge of the Frosty Ball today is DMI Executive Director Susan Schmitz, who's from a historic downtown retail family. She says the Central City is in her blood.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
Today, DMI continues to work with the city to make State Street and the downtown even better, including supporting the new Overture Center for the Arts. Other activities include managing the spectacular opening ceremonies of Monona Terrace for the city and backing its adjacent Hilton Hotel, a hot summer concert series, and aggressive movement into politics, including endorsing candidates and pro-downtown business policies, ensuring DMI's political voice is stronger than ever, and growing membership to 500 diverse businesses. All music to the ears of Susan Schmitz.
Because we have concentrated so much on the health and vitality of our downtown, we do have a soul and a heart, and that's why people are attracted to this community. Visitors love this community, and what they love about the community is the downtown.
The busy streets of the 50s and 60s are back as Madison's core continues to evolve, filled with shopping, arts, and entertainment. Thanks to DMI, downtown Madison's heartbeat can be heard loud and clear.